Kevin Bradshaw for BradshawHomes.network. Warren Buffett penned the words, "If you wait for the robins, spring will be over," back in October of last year, noting that he was buying U.S. stocks for his personal account, even though he wasn't sure when the market would eventually bottom out. As it happened, it still had a ways to go. Stocks dropped another 25% after his New York Times op-ed piece appeared. Still, the general sentiment, that is, on the money, as appealing as it might seem to buy stocks at their absolute low, it's almost impossible to do so. But you're better off buying when there's a maximum pessimism in the marketplace than when the market is at their high and everyone is feeling good. The same is true for would-be home buyers. The trends are certainly disconcerting, with their home prices down a record 3% in January and nearly 30% since their peak in the mid-2006. But as of April, existing home inventories nationwide has dropped below 10-month supply, as reported by Chief Economist Lawrence Yun. At the risk of stating the obvious, it's also true that not everyone has the financial wherewithal to be home buyers, as the current economic crisis has amply illustrated. But if you're in the market for a home and don't have one to sell, you can't ask for a better opportunity to get in the game. Prices have dropped a lot, and mortgage rates have also been in record low territory, according to Bankrate.com, which recently showed the average at 15 and 30-year rates coming in under 5% as of March 18th. Yet another inducement is the first-time home buyer's credit, part of the economic stimulus plan passed by Congress earlier this year. Under the program, first-time homebuyers can obtain a tax credit amount to 10% of their home's purchase price, up to a maximum of $8,000 if they purchase a home between the beginning of 2009 and December 1st, 2009. And unlike an earlier credit enacted for home purchase in 2008, this one doesn't have to be paid back. In short, if would-be buyers have been putting off buying a home because they think prices could go lower, the credit may serve as a motivation to pull the trigger. Here's a brief look at how the program works. For most home buyers, the credit will come in play after they've purchased a home. New homeowners claim the credits as part of their tax return after they've purchased a house, thereby reducing their tax burden. The credit reduces the amount of tax owed dollar for dollar up to the 10% limit for a maximum credit of $8,000. Thus, it's more valuable than a tax deduction, which reduces the amount of income that's taxed. For example, say you bought a home in July of 2009 and claimed the credit on your return for 2009. If your federal tax liability for 2009 was $9,000, you would owe just $1,000 in taxes. That's $9,000 less the $8,000 tax credit. But your tax liability needn't be anywhere near $8,000 for you to be able to take full advantage of the credit. That's because it's refundable, meaning that an individual whose tax liability for 2009 was $1,500 would receive a check from the government for $6,500, $8,000 less the $1,500 tax liability. It's also worth noting that those who purchase homes in 2009 will be able to choose whether to file for their credit as part of their 2008 or 2009 tax returns. The key advantages of filing for the tax credit for the 2008 tax year is that you'll get the money that much sooner, and B, you'll know for sure whether your income level qualifies you for the credit. If you've already filed your taxes for 2008 but would still like to claim the credit, you'll have to file an amended 2008 return. The credit can also provide help if you don't have the money to pay for a home up front. You would need to reduce your tax withholding up to the amount of the credit prior to making the home purchase. That would allow you to increase your take-home pay and accumulate a down payment. After buying the home, you would have to file the tax credit paperwork, but you wouldn't receive any money back because you had already taken the credit. Please note, if you reduce your withholding amount and ended up not buying a home, you'd owe the IRS the money that you should have withheld but didn't. Check with your tax advisor and/or human resource representative for guidance on how to implement this strategy. Now, who's eligible? As noted, you don't actually have to be the first-time homebuyer to qualify for the credit. You can also claim if you haven't owned a primary residence in the past 3 years. That means those who own vacation homes or rental properties, but not primary residences, are eligible. You also have to stay in the home for at least 3 years, otherwise you'll have to pay the credit back. You're not eligible if your spouse has owned a home within the past 3 years, even if you haven't owned one yourself. Also, there are income limitations for claiming the credit. Single filer taxpayers can't claim the full credit if they've earned more than $75,000. Married couples can't claim a full credit if they've earned more than $150,000. The amount of the credit phases out for single filers earning between $75,000 and $95,000 and joint filers earning between $150,000 and $170,000. IRS Form 5405 shows you how to calculate your credit if your income falls into these ranges. At BradshawHomes.net, there's never been a better time to build a custom home just for you. But time is limited if you're considering a custom home, because to be eligible, you do have to close the project by December 1st of 2009. We offer competitive prices, in-house design service, and professional project management during construction and after closing the project. If you're thinking of buying an existing home, and there are some good buys out there, check us out with a no-obligation appointment. A new home from Bradshaw Homes offers numerous features and amenities to accommodate today's discerning home buyers and their busy lifestyles. Things like new technologies, more efficient square footage, improved layouts for more comfort. New homes built today are about twice as energy efficient as new homes built 20 years ago. We can build you what you want at a great price. This is Kevin Bradshaw at BradshawHomes.net. Call for an appointment at 212-0265.